everyone, and welcome back to Behind the Hustle. I'm Emma, and I'm thrilled to continue our journey of exploring the inspiring stories of small business owners. Behind the Hustle is dedicated to highlighting the hard work and dedication of entrepreneurs who make a significant impact behind the scenes. Each week, we bring you stories of resilience, creativity, and success from different business owners who share their journeys with us. Today, I'm excited to welcome Jo Bell, a holistic success coach and co-founder of In Your Power CIC. Jo and her team are committed to empowering individuals and creating positive change. Let's dive in and hear all about her impactful work and journey. Hi, Jo.
Good afternoon, Emma.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm really eager to learn about your path with In Your Power CIC and how you've been making a difference. So shall we dive straight into the questions?
We can do. Oh my goodness, here we go.
Okay, so tell us about your business. What inspired you to start In Your Power CIC and how did you get it off the ground?
Okay, so my business as a holistic success coach basically got me to where I am now with In Your Power CIC, if we're being proper in its title. And it's really the whole purpose of the community interest company was to help more people. That's the bottom line. There's only so much one individual can do. And what I offer is coaching. There's an awful lot of people out there who need more than just coaching. And that's where the CIC really comes into play. So we were looking to do something to help as many as possible be just fabulous and really thrive in their life. And sometimes it just needs a conversation to get that going. Sometimes it needs a little bit more than that. And what we wanted to do is a one-stop shop. And it's come from there, really.
So what is the mission of your business? What core values or goals drive what you do at In Your Power CIC?
It's all about the person in front of us. That's the main driver. It's very much people-led. There's an awful lot of services, businesses, support networks, and everything else that's out there, but not as many as you'd expect that are people-led or really giving the service that one person or that individual really needs at that time. And that can change throughout their lifetime. It's a moment in time that you see somebody in front of you, and it's how you can influence that to the best of your ability and their ability, but more importantly, to really let them shine and become the best version of themselves. And there's a real, what's the word I'm looking for? A uniqueness about the business. It's a unique way that we go about it, and it's not just us. It's using different professionals, different organizations. We're bringing in equine therapy as well, and it's all sorts of opportunities that are available through the business now. So really, really exciting, and it's all about empowering our local community.
So what's been the biggest challenge you've faced as a business owner? How did you navigate and overcome that challenge?
Oh, good question. I would probably go back to my own business more than the CIC. And the biggest challenge I had with my business was people who you would expect to be your biggest cheerleaders turned out not to be, and put that little voice of doubt in your head, really. But I suppose that's all part of you're agreeing here. You've obviously been there, done that.
I've been there.
Yep. And I suppose it really, I looked upon it as a test. Are you actually wanting to do this? What's your purpose behind it? And what's your real driver? And when I answered those questions, I just cracked on. And it was very much about believing in myself and trusting my own judgment. And that's now gone into the CIC as well, because my fellow directors, 3 fabulous women in their own right, all started off as clients, all now very good friends, and we just can't wait to see what happens. That little bit of doubt that I had from my own business, I had a conversation a few weeks ago with somebody. It was around funding. We are looking for funding and sponsorship for our CIC, so money's not going to stop anyone actually benefiting from it. and a conversation I had with somebody who, let's just say, was in a position where they should be there to support, help, mentor. If it's not right for them, they should be able to kind of help you in the right direction. Oh dear Lord, no, it was the complete opposite. Very negative, very much, well, you're not unique. There's millions of people who do this. There's nothing special about what you're trying to do. You don't fit our criteria, blah, blah, blah. What it actually turned out was that person hadn't actually read any information that I'd sent, and also wasn't listening to anything that I was saying back. So that, if 20 years ago, if I'd had that conversation, that would have stopped me in my tracks. Thankfully, I've just took some time out and thought, breathe.
Yeah, exactly.
Check and challenge. Have I got this right? Have I really lost the plot on this one? No, absolutely not. And then knew what I had to do from there. I then checked and challenged elsewhere and got the answers that I should have had in that initial conversation. So
one person's opinion out of however many, and that probably spurred you on as well. Because if you're anything like
100%.
me, when someone says no, I'm like, yes, I will.
Poke you in the eyes. Damn right I will.
Can you share a memorable success story or milestone for your business? What moment made you especially proud of what you've accomplished?
Well, our CIC, or CIC, is in very early stages. We literally have just formed at the beginning of August. So if I answer on my business, one of the moments in time that stopped me in my tracks was when I was working with a client, and they were so impressed with the journey they'd gone on and what they'd achieved and were continuing to achieve. They turned around to me and said, you need to put this in a book. You need to write a book. Come on, that's your next step. That's your next goal. Write a book. And it's all about your bring your own ship program, because it's just, people need to know this. Everyone needs to go through this. Everyone needs a Joe in their life. And I'm like, okay. My thoughts on that is, I was rubbish at English at school. How on earth do I go about writing a book? But I took it on board. I thought, no, it's a good challenge. Somebody's given you an idea for a reason. So started writing away. Still in progress. I have to say, it's not finished. But now I've got a great closing chapter around the new business and the kick. And that's all come from bring your own shit, basically. So that was one of the biggies for me. It's not just the impact that you have on other people, but the impact that they then see for themselves, but also how that can then be transferred right across the board to any person who's wanting to actually make change in their life. So for me, that was a biggie.
Brilliant. So, how do you differentiate your business from others in your industry? What sets In Your Power apart from in the realm of holistic coaching empowerment and empowerment?
So both my own business and the company that we've formed are both very bespoke. It's about that person in front of us. So what they bring to the table, that's what we work with, and that's what we make sure we work with them to find the right solution for them to get them on their pathway to success. It's not off your shelf, right? This will do you, there you go. It's very much around that two-way conversation and really listening to what somebody's saying, and also what they're not saying. That's a really important part of it as well. So I suppose what sets us apart is that bespokeness, that person-led approach, but also around the way we want to work with our kick is pulling other professionals, other organizations, other charities working with us, and really having that far-reaching impact on the community. Lots of other people are doing little bits of it and doing some great work. What we're trying to do is pull a lot of that together so it's in one place, so you're not having to start one pathway, whether your doctor has referred you to counselling, coaching, nutritionist, whatever it is, and then you get there and it's not worked, or it's only part of the puzzle that needs to be sorted. It's very much around that holistic approach to the person that's in front of us.
I think because you're so new, you've got a lot to kind of show people to kind of get the name out there. And that's what Behind the Hustle's all about, is me trying to get people to see all these wonderful small businesses and the people behind them, because so often we don't really know who's behind the business. We go and get a service and we pay for our service and off on our merry way. And it's like, it's nice to know a bit more, because we put so much work into our businesses. It's nice to kind of get our name out there and go, do you know what? This is who I am.
And a really important part of what we're doing is because of what we've gone through as well. And the whole purpose of me pulling together my Bring Your Own Ship program and the community interest company is to make life easier for people. It shouldn't be hard 24/7. So if somebody's learnt a lesson doing X, Y, or Z, let's share that. Share the shit out of it, and let's make it easier for each other.
Fantastic. So what advice would you give someone looking to start their own business? Are there any key lessons that you've learnt that you'd like to pass on?
The main one is being true to themselves. Be really focused on understanding what you actually want to do. And don't let the negative Nellies talk you out of it or tweak it or change it. Yes, take advice on how to do certain parts of your business, especially if it's an area that you don't have the expertise. But the fundamentals of your business, that's your baby. And it needs to sit well with you. It needs to be coming from you. It's part of you is going to be out there. That's what's going to be the success of the business, basically. So be very, very strong on what you're wanting to do and what you're wanting to achieve. And don't take no for an answer. You'll always find a way.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, I'm quite new myself. My business started in April. I've only really started getting clients sort of June, July. But all of a sudden it's getting that snowball effect where I'm suddenly getting more and more inquiries, and it's like, wow, this is actually happening. And all the people that were saying, no, you can't do that. You can't, that's not a business, that's not a job. It's
Says
like,
who?
look at me now.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. If
And
you've
it's
got
about
an idea, stick with it.
stick with it and don't forget your why. Why are you doing it in the first place? Because
Yeah.
that's your main driver. That's your motivation.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. So what role does your local community play in your business? How do you engage with and give back to your community?
So with the Kick, it's all about our community. It's all about
Yeah,
helping those who are in need of help, whatever that looks like.
yeah,
We are partnering up with quite a few different organisations, businesses, doctors, surgeries, health and social care partnership, etc. All the things that make up your local community. We're working with them slowly but surely, one by one. And like I say, it is very early days, but it feels right. It feels like people are taking real ownership of this and really wanting to drive things forward and make that difference where we know there's bottlenecks with regards to other services that are out there. So we're trying to make it a little bit easier for people.
sick. And how do you see your business evolving in the next few years? What are your plans for growth or any new projects on the horizon? I'm guessing everything's new because you are
Everything's
new,
new.
so everything.
Yeah, it's really just getting our name out there so people know who we are, what we're all about, how we can work with them in whatever form that is, whether they're going to be a client of ours, whether they're going to be a sponsor, whether they are going to work with us as referrals. There's lots of different ways to do it, or whether they're actually going to be one of the providers that we work very closely with their clients. So there's lots of different opportunities, but the main one just now is we've not even done a proper launch yet. We're that new, so it's very much soft launch at the moment and just chatting as we go. And already the buzz is really quite phenomenal. It's exciting times ahead. So we'll see what comes of that.
So this one, obviously, because you're still new, I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What's one thing you wish more people knew about your business? Is there a misconception or a hidden gem that you'd like to share with the audience?
From my business, from my personal business, my holistic success coaching, the one thing that I wish people would understand, or more people would understand, is you don't have to have a problem or an issue to have a coach.
No.
Having a coach, it can work whatever age or stage you're at in your life. Yes, we do help with specific issues and specific problems, but imagine you are flying in your business. Imagine you had a coach to just tweak here, there, and everywhere. You wouldn't just be flying, it would be world domination in the business world. It could really take you to that next level that you're looking for. So that can happen in any stage. With our CIC, I just want people to know who we are, really, and come and work with us, because it's a great opportunity, and we will find something for everyone that will add value to their lives.
Yeah, fantastic. We're nearly at the end. This has got to be the quickest one I've done.
Oh, see, that's not very good. That's my fault.
That's no problem at all. So I'm going to ask you the final question, and we can have a little bit more of a chat about everything after that. So the final question, this is the one I ask it. Well, I ask all the questions every week, but this question is like the key end of the show question. So if you could have one celebrity, past or present, endorse In Your Power, who would it be and why?
I've got two. Can I have two?
That's fine. Kalia had one, Sherry had three. So I'm going to let you have more than
I'll
one.
have
That's
two.
fine.
Right. So Jamie Lee Curtis was the name that came up first and foremost because of her attitude to life and just cracking on and getting it done. And she's always got, she is just amazing. She's always got a smile on her face.
And she's going to find out when she watches Behind the Hustle how amazing she is.
Exactly. And it's just her whole ethos about how to live your life. It's just, it fits. It really does. The other person I would say, and she seems to be like Marmite, Davina McCall. You either love her or hate her. And the reason I'm saying Davina McCall is because I heard her talk. She was talking in Aberdeen, was it a couple of months ago now? And it was very much around the menopause, but it was actually about her whole life and the lessons that she's learned and situations that she's gone through. And what she was talking about is what we're all about. It's about understanding you as a person, not all the different hats you wear and the person that you or what you do. It's about who you are. And that's absolutely what we're about for our In Your Power, and also my holistic success coaching business. Bring Your Own Shit is all about that. It's all about knowing who you are.
I can imagine Davina would love Bring Your Own Shit.
Well, she'll just have to sign my book, really, won't she?
Yeah. No, I quite agree with you with Davina there, because I've found her recent work on bringing menopause to the forefront of conversations for many women. I've had so many conversations with business women and women lately about this, in that when you're at school, it is drummed into you that you're going to get your periods and this is what's going to happen to you. But what happens when you leave school and you get to a certain age and you start hearing perimenopause, and it's like, I've never heard that word growing up in my life. My mum never spoke about perimenopause. My mum didn't really tell me about her menopause. I mean, she had partly a hysterectomy, but she had one ovary remaining. So she did go through the menopause. I have no idea. It's like no one sits you down and goes, this is going to start happening at this age. This is what you've got coming. There's nothing. And so with Davina bringing out the show that she brought out and talking about it and bringing it out more and more into the forefront, it's amazing. We need to be talking about it more. And I've seen that businesses are now employing people to sort of be more aware so that they know how to prepare for women that are going through the menopause. It's such a big part of so many women's lives, and we need to be talking about it. We need to be educated on it.
We do, and I think it's always been a taboo subject, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So I work with a lot of women around that glass ceiling, that infamous glass ceiling that we always face in our careers. And it's actually and it's all because they're understanding who they are. When you've got that understanding, the menopause actually becomes quite a freeing and enlightening time, because
Yeah.
all of a sudden they don't have the issues of periods. Yes, they've got all the hot flushes and sweats and everything else, but there's so many different ways that we can now help ourselves with that. But
Yeah.
more importantly, it's about understanding that fuzzy head. I suppose that's probably the worst bit, especially if you've got your own business or you're in senior management, leadership roles, whatever it is. To actually function and doing the simplest things can be really
Yeah.
tricky at times. So the more we speak about that, the more we understand that, the better it's going to be for everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's not only the individual benefiting from it and not feeling as if, oh dear God, there's something wrong with me, I'm
Yeah.
early retirement, dementia, whatever it is, but the people that you work for and with are going to benefit, because you're taking that time out when you need that time out, and you're
Yeah.
full on when you're in a good place to be full on. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So it's about the understanding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, women themselves need to understand what their body and their mind is going to go through, but also people working around them need to understand what they're going through. So that, it's not the age-old joke of, oh, she's going through the change. It's, people are a lot more understanding towards it. I mean, we've made leaps and bounds with mental health. Let's do this as well.
It's also really interesting you mentioned that about, oh, she's going through the change.
I hate that. I hate that term.
I know. But it's the same as when a female in a leadership role is, forthright isn't the word that I'm looking for, but just very
Assertive.
assertive, very clear in what they're
Mm,
wanting.
yeah.
All of a sudden, that's thrown back at them as if, is it a bad day? Is it the hormones kicking in?
Yeah.
And you're like,
You wouldn't say it to a man.
no.
No.
And you can act in exactly the same way. I'm getting on my high horse a little bit here, and I don't mean
Oh
to.
no,
I'm not.
I could
I'm
jump
not
on as
male
well.
bashing in the slightest, but it
No.
does my nut in
Yeah.
when you hear the flippant comments, which are really quite derogatory,
Yeah.
when somebody who happens to be female is being assertive or giving a point of view.
Yeah.
What, since when has that been a crime? Or when has that been something that we need to poo-poo?
They're worried. They're scared a bit. That's what it is. Thank you so much, Jo, for sharing your journey and insights with us today. It's been incredibly inspiring to hear about your work with your In Your Power CIC. I could talk all afternoon to you. To learn more about Jo's work, we need to visit your website. Now, can you just tell me what your website is?
So we don't have one for In Your Power yet, but
Oh,
my one for Holistic Success Coach is www.thejobell.com. And
wonderful.
once we're up and running with our In Your Power website and socials, I will be putting a link on through my website anyway. But in the
Wonderful.
meantime, any questions, fire it through my website, no problem.
Fantastic. And do you have socials for your business then that we can follow you on?
Yes, Instagram and Facebook for the.joe.bell is on Instagram and joe.bell on Facebook. And you'll also find me on LinkedIn as well.
Fantastic. So I will put all those links in the description. Next week, we'll be joined by another amazing entrepreneur. So make sure to tune in. You won't want to miss it. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, share, comment, press all the buttons. If you're a small business owner interested in being featured, do feel free to give me a message. I'd love to hear from you. For now, that's all for Behind the Hustle. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep hustling and supporting small businesses.